church building. It's just about sharing the life that God has given to you with other people. You know, there was a salesman one time who came up to a guy and said, professional salesman, he said, no matter what I do, I just can't close these sales. You know, I keep trying to, it's like, I guess it's that old saying, you know, you try to bring a horse to water, you can't make him drink. Salesman just said, well, your job isn't to make the horse drink. Your job is just to make the horse thirsty. And that's what our job is as Christians. To attract people by telling them our story and sharing ourselves with them. And in so doing, we make them thirsty for a relationship with God. So I'm going to share a couple of stories that kind of illustrate the type of ministry that we do, and I've done in East Pittsburgh, and I've been there for 22 years, if you can believe that. But I'm going to start with a story about a guy named Greg. Greg was a youth group member. This is probably 15 to 20 years ago. It's been quite a while. Greg was the baddest dude you'd ever want to meet. This kid had a rap sheet as long as his arm. Okay, this kid would break into the homes of senior citizens just to terrorize them while they're home. And so one day, you know, we tried to work with this kid, and we tried to share with him Christ and so forth. And one day, the kid just disappeared. I didn't see him again until probably about 5-6 years ago. And I'll tell you what happened. It was late at night, and I was with our band. It was probably about midnight, pulling stuff into the church. And we pull up into the church and pull our equipment into the church, and we're all tired and exhausted. All of a sudden, this car pulls up. It's a dark blue car with these black tinted windows, and the car pulls up, and the window rolls down. He said, "Hey." You know, at this point, I'm thinking, yeah. That's what I said, yeah, yes. I'm thinking, I'm going to be in the newspaper tomorrow, pastor victim of drive-by shooting, okay? And he says, "Hey, Pastor Dave, don't you remember me?" I'm like, "Greg, of course I remember you." I said, "How you doing?" He said, "I've been looking for you for the last 2 weeks." Okay, now I'm thinking I'm back to dead again, okay? "So what do you want, Greg?" He's like, "I just came by." He said, "Because after I left you guys, I really got myself in a lot of trouble. But then I really worked at trying to get my life together. I got my GED. I just got married, got a baby on the way. I got a full-time job, and I'm going to church every single Sunday. I got my relationship right with God, and I just wanted to thank you because of what you guys told me back when I was a teenager." And I said, "Well, that you could live on for the rest of your life." It is the greatest story to hear and see somebody's life is transformed by a relationship with Christ. And I said, you know, this is why we do this. This is why I do the ministry that I do. Because I don't care whether anybody ever becomes a member. This kid never contributed a dime to our congregation. Never participated in any of our programs outside of the youth group and the outreach that we did. He will never make a significant contribution in any manner to our congregation. He never worshiped on any given Sunday. But his life was transformed by God's presence because we just lived amongst him, told him our story, and shared ourselves with him. So that is the ministry that takes place in East Pittsburgh. And that's what we try to do. So I want you to take another pledge with me. Oops.